Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Farrah, and today's video is going to be my pile of possibilities for November, hopeful reads, things that I'm still reading now, and a couple of recommendations I have for Dr. No-vember coming up, which is a reading event hosted by Mark from Book Time with Elvis that I am excited to be co-hosting next month with a bunch of amazing other booktubers on here that are just absolutely wonderful. I'll leave a list of them below. But yeah, just kind of like some of my reading plans. I haven't done a TBR video in a really long time, but I am excited just to share some things that maybe I hope to get to. I don't have high hopes for the volume of what I'm going to get to, but these are just some things on my radar that sound really interesting to me. So excuse the lighting, it's late, but I just wanted to make this video. So as far as what I'm currently reading, I do have a couple things that are ongoing. For audio, I've been listening to this on and off. This is the second book in the Outlander series called Dragonflies in Amber by Diana Gabaldon. Now this is a reread for me. I've actually read this twice. I've read Outlander I think 3 times, this one twice, but this is the first time I'm listening to it as audio. I'm hoping to keep going with this series because I'm so far behind, and this is one of my favorite series. I've only made it up to book 4, through book 4. But I am going to listen to them on audio to catch myself up so I can finally start book 5. But I'm not going to get into the plot of this at all, but essentially the story is about this nurse turned physician named Claire, who was a nurse in World War II, but it's a story about time travel, and she accidentally falls back in time through these magical stones back into the 1740s, and she meets her new love interest, and it's just a story about an adventure and time travel and politics, and it's so good. I absolutely love this series. I'm going to be continuing to listen on and off on audio to this. I still have quite a ways to go. Then on my Kindle, I'm reading the second book in the Kate Daniels series, which are a series of occult detective novels written by husband and wife pair Ilona Andrews. I read the first book called Magic Bites, and I read that a couple years ago, and then I re-listened to the audio last week or so just to catch myself back up, because it's another series that I really hope to get to. There's 10 books in the series. I've been putting it off, but I've decided 2026 is going to be my year of getting back into the series that I started that I want to keep going with. So I'm going to be starting book 2 on my Kindle. Very excited for it. I really enjoyed book 1, and I've heard book 2 is even better. But we follow Kate Daniels, and she's a mercenary living in a magical world similar to ours, but they have fluctuations of technology and magic. So every couple of years, the technology will stop working and magic will come alive. And there's necromancers controlling vampires, there's shapeshifters, and there's all these magical beings that kind of, their powers are intensified during these times of magic. And she goes around kind of as a freelance who gets hired to clean up the messes that are made during these magical spells. So it's really fun. Our heroine is really funny, and I'm just really enjoying this series so far. So I'm going to be working on book 2. And then physically, I started reading The Walking Dead. This is a series of comics all put into one big compendium. There's 4 of them, and I just started the first one, and I'm about that way through and absolutely loving this. It's really fun. It's scary, it's creepy, it's fast-paced. I think it's really well written, and I'm getting sucked into this already. So really loving this, and I may keep going with the series because there's 4 books total, which I just said, and I borrowed them from my brother, so I would like to give them back. So depending on how I feel at the end of this, I might just keep going with it. And again, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to read all the series I want and not worry about my booktube content as much, because I think that has held me back a little bit from going on in the series that I love, because I am a big fan of series. So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. I'm also finishing up a book I started last year for Dr. No-vember, and this is called The Spy and the Traitor by Ben McIntyre. And this is a nonfiction book about the real-life story of Russian KGB agent Olav Gordievsky and his decision to end up switching sides and assisting Britain in the MI6 department and MI5. He does work with them too, but it tells his story of how he got to that point, what things happened in his life to make him want to you know, move out of communism and move out of the oppressive ways of his Russian culture, and, you know, how he infiltrated in and how he got hired by the MI6 and what he did and how he helped, especially during the Cold War, and then how he eventually escapes Russia when they find out that he's a spy. So I am about halfway through this. It's amazing. I'm really enjoying it. It reads like a fiction novel. It's so well written. It's so interesting. I'm learning so much about that time in history and about espionage and the things that he was able to do. And I'm just amazed at how he could withstand this pressure and this danger. So yeah, I'm hoping to finish this. This will be the first thing that I get through for Dr. No-vember. And I just can't believe I left it and I didn't finish it last year, but yeah, it's okay. I'm also going to try to read the group read for Dr. No-vember this year, and this is called The Quiet American by Graham Greene. It's not that long, and it sounds really interesting. So for this one, it takes place in the 1950s in Vietnam, and we're following a British journalist and a young American idealist. There's some kind of love triangle with a Vietnamese woman. So it all just sounds very interesting. I think it's a book that has themes about morality and political innocence and the disasters that can arise from that. So I haven't read anything yet by Graham Greene, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I heard it's really good, so very much looking forward to it. And this is such a beautiful copy, isn't it? It's a Penguin Deluxe edition. It has these French flaps and deckled edges, and yeah, it's a really nice one. So yeah, really excited to get to this one. That'll be next. And then I own a couple books that I would like to get to for Dr. No-vember, and I'm going to be participating in the Read What You Own challenge again this year, so it's really important for me to start reading more of what I own. So I found this book while thrifting last year, and this is called The Prodigal Spy, and it's by Joseph Cannon. I don't know too much about this book, but I do know it's a dual timeline. It's a father and son story. It has to do with espionage, I believe during the Cold War, and it's a mystery. So I think the dad was being hunted down as a communist spy. The son at the time destroyed some important evidence. Then he goes on and thinks his father has passed away, but then 20 years later, he finds out his father's still alive and living in Prague, so he travels there to try to uncover the secrets and find his father again. So yeah, I'm not sure how this one's going to go, but I am going to give it a try and see if it's any good and see if I like it. I'm not really sure, but you never know. It might surprise me. I hope it surprises me. Yeah. And then I would really also like to read a book I have digitally, and this is called Book and Dagger by Elsie Graham, How Scholars and Librarians Became the Unlikely Spies of World War II. So this talks about how the Office of Special Services, which was the department that grew into the CIA later on, how they recruited academics to help them in the war. And it tells about different people specifically, I think, that had played a role in helping with the war. One is an archivist that was sent to Stockholm to uncover secret documents. Another was a professor who went on to recruit people as double agents, and another one is a librarian. I don't know what he did, but it just sounded really good, really interesting to think of ordinary people that were able to do amazing things and were able to be trained in espionage and to really make a huge difference during these horrific wars that we had. So that one I really hope to get to as well. So those are the books that I own now that I really hope to get to. And then I had a couple on my radar. There's no way I'm going to get to these, but I'm just going to let you know about a couple other titles that I thought were really, really interesting. So I would love to read a John le Carre book also for this event. And I think a few people in the group might be reading The Spy Who Came In From the Cold for the first time, but I kind of want to start from the beginning with George Smiley. So I may pick up Call for the Dead, which was the first book in his series. I think The Spy Who Came In From the Cold might be book number 3, but I may give the first one a try just to say that I kind of read them in order, if that makes sense. So I'd like to try John le Carre if I have time. Something I can highly recommend if you're interested in participating in Dr. November is a book called A Woman of No Importance, The Untold Story of an American Spy Who Helped Win World War II by Sonia Purnell. And this is my first book I've ever read by this author. This is a nonfiction, and it is a true story about American spy Virginia Hall, who was originally from Baltimore, Maryland. She went on to become one of the most dangerous and effective spies during World War II. An amazing thing about her was that she actually lost part of her leg. So not only was she an incredible spy who was such a huge asset in France, taking part in the French resistance and building networks, and later going on to organize guerrilla warfare teams to effectively get the Nazis out of France. She did it all with a disability, and she had a prosthetic leg. She was able to undergo multiple disguises. She evaded capture by one of the most dangerous people named Klaus Barbie, who was just obsessed with her and hot on her trail. And the impact that she made in this war and the way she innovatively created different spy techniques that would further go on, to lead to more modern techniques. It was absolutely amazing. And then on to her career in the CIA. But this was such a great book. It was such a wonderful story. This is one of my favorite books of the year. I just finished it recently because I started it back last year in Dr. November, and then I went through a huge reading slump. I put it down, but I picked it back up recently and finished it in preparation for Dr. November. But this was one of my favorite books of all time. I thought it was just such an incredible, gripping story. I'm just absolutely amazed at this woman. If you've read it, please let me know. I know, Debs, you've read it. You really liked it. I can't say enough good things about it. I really enjoyed this book so much. It was so inspiring. It was such an amazing story of an incredible woman and just what she did and how brave she was and all the things that she overcame. I mean, you'd think you have a bad day at work. Oh my gosh. It was just really interesting. So yeah, I can definitely recommend that. Now, just to briefly mention a few other books I would love to get to, but not really getting too much into the plot so I don't make this video too long, but I would love to try Eric Ambler. He would be a new author for me. There's a book in particular that I would like to read called Epitaph for a Spy. Mark from Book Time with Elvis did a great review of this last year, and I think Greg read it as well, and they both said it was excellent. So that's an idea. And then another nonfiction one that sounded really great is called The Art Spy, The Extraordinary Untold Tale of World War II Resistance Hero Rose Valland. And this one sounded great as well. Oh my gosh, there's so many choices when you go on and you look up different novels about espionage, both fiction and nonfiction, and it's so hard to narrow it down. But I am going to try to stick with what I own first, and then if there's anything left over, I would love to get to some of these other picks, and I'm sure as the event goes on and I hear what everyone else is reading and get inspired by them, my list will just continue to grow. And espionage fiction and nonfiction is definitely a genre that I could probably read all year round. It's not just saved for this one event. So I'm really excited to see how my TBR grows and to get through some of these books that I'm really looking forward to. So that's about it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that you'll give this reading event a try and this type of genre. I just absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite events, and one that I will likely participate in every year. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please let me know if you've read anything I've talked about, or if you have any ideas of what you'd like to read in November, even if it has nothing to do with espionage or nonfiction or anything like that. I would still love to know. But thanks for watching, you guys. Take good care, and I will talk to you soon.